Hey guys, Dante here, and welcome back to my channel, The Burgos Art, and welcome back to another edition of our Sunday art stream. All right, so let's see. We're coming across on Twitch, and I believe the other platforms as well. Just checking a few things. YouTube looks good. Picardo looks good. I think we're good, everyone. All right. So welcome back, everyone. Welcome. What are we doing today? Well, today is a continuation of last week. I just want to actually start off at least with some nice art corrections and cleanup of our ghostly gal sadness. I really liked it a lot. I want to just clean the hands up, maybe adjust the chest because something's bothering me about it. Maybe even drop some colors into it. I don't know yet. But we're gonna do what we can. Now let me just open up my chat. Okay. So let's get to it. Let's do it to it. Alright. You know what? Let's go ahead and start on the hands, since that's like the easiest thing to clean up right now, and do some shading. Nope, that's the wrong direction. There we go. So I don't know about you guys, whoever sees this in the future, here in the Bronx right now, in the Boogie Down Bronx, we are starting a heat wave. It's gonna hit us definitely like Wednesday or something. And I am not looking forward to it, people. Right now it's just muggy as heck. And my good friend Romina Sotorova, once again, check her out on Instagram, people. I had my good friend Romina over, and she's constantly struggling, as we all do, with her personal projects, mainly her fashion line. And we just got together and we did some audio work. And I was like, in my own house, I'm dying. I'm like, oh God, it's so hot. I need to sit in front of the fan because I'm cheap and I don't have a freaking AC yet. But she's like, oh, I'm fine. Don't know what you're complaining about. For now, let's give her like some big solid black claws. What's it? Talons. I think it's talons. We use the word claw too much. I think claw is like a crab claw. What she actually has, I guess it's talons? Oop, that's the wrong button. Is that R for rotate? It is R for rotate. Nice. Now, somewhere between the sound of my voice and the music in the background, you probably can hear the fan in the background. From a distance, blowing on me, keeping me alive in the meantime. So what's in the news today? Nothing tragic. There's a lot of tragedy happening right now, I think, in Florida. For the past few days, I just found out about it for the past few days. There was an accident. But in more... But in the more relaxed news, I watched episode 3 of freaking Owl House. Love that show. And you know what better show to talk about during Pride Month than Owl House? I think that's like the right show we need to discuss at the moment. Keeping the trend of actually being a good show, even though its demographic, quote unquote, is for younger audiences, it gave us a little bit of a little bit of a hidden lore and mystery. And I say quote unquote for demographic because what was I gonna say? Oh, there it is. I saw this really cute tweet by a mother talking about how she just started watching Owl House with her kids and how she loves the show and how her youngest little girl is drawing her own like glyphs, like the glyph magic, and how the mother forgets, oh yeah, this is a demographic meant for like younger audiences, even though she's enjoying it as like a grown mother, like this, really enjoying the show that's technically for kids. That just shows what good writing does. But again, that's what all like, you know, quote unquote nerd media is. It's like My Hero Academia. Oh, it's a shonen show, so it's, you know, it's strictly for like teenage boys. But I freaking love it. Is it perfect? Probably not. It has that freaking grape dude in it, so nothing's perfect. That's better. I'm still keeping my scratchy lines, but I just want to better define certain areas of the picture. Nope, don't want to do that. Here we go. In other geek news, I got to catch the start of the next Critical Role campaign, which is nice for a change of pace there, you know. Letting Matt Mercer take a break, at least from from actually DMing. And I only watched the start of it because I was like super tired, and I was like, okay, I'll watch it when it repeats on like YouTube or something. Get one of those knuckle wrinkles. Ninkles? Ninkles, yeah, we'll call them ninkles for now. Knuckle wrinkles. I'm sure someone on the internet will angrily correct me. Oh, it's a slur in this one culture that no one's ever heard of. Shame on you. Well, if it is, I'm sorry. Didn't know. So I've probably mentioned this before. I tend to zoom in extremely heavily, extreme close up when I draw. like broad strokes. When I ink, like doing broad strokes isn't my thing. I zoom in real close, which is why I put the little navigation window on top, even though I know it's not the clearest. I do that way people don't get bored of just watching like a finger or two in the corner. But here she is in her beauty anyway, her full beauty. Let me move that over. Just gotta rearrange my keyboard. That's better. File save! File save, people save. Alright, so now comes the issue that was bugging me so much. Get ourselves a blue pencil. Something light. Figure out what the hell we're doing here. So the issue is one. Oh, what was that? So the issue is one is her right is definitely off to the side. Her left is more front and center. So her left one's kind of bugging me. Would that make more sense if I erase those lines there? A little slight erasure here too. I'm not actually erasing, I'm using just white on a new layer. Just to kind of give me an idea of what I'm looking at. That might work. That might work. So you know what? First things first. Yeah, let me I'll use white on this one layer to draw this out. It's not perfect, but it definitely works better. Alright, so I'm gonna lock that, put a layer on top of that. And then see what we got. does look better. It looks better. They seem to merge a few things here and there. Clean up and erase a few things. Merge layer below. Can't merge that because that's locked. Still using white. Nope, should be using black. There we go. I'm so tempted just to go online and look up a picture and just like drop it in there and just trace the general shape just to get the freaking contour. Anyways, someone's doing construction. Oh no, I hear some noise in the background. Better. It is better. I'm sure someone's gonna be like, no, that's not how it looks, but better than it was before. Flipping that canvas. One thing is that I need to fix the armpit because people have wings. Did you know that? People do have wings. It's an expression, but we do have wings. It's like that. There's a muscle that comes off the side of us. Better. Okay, so now everything's really loose and goosey. But let's throw some colors in there. Why not? Rename this inks. Name your layers. Name them and then lock them. Cold tea on my wobbly ass table next to the computer. Well, no, the computer's all the way over here. The tea is all the way over here, and the keyboard is kind of raised up. So even if it spills, I just gotta make sure. The one thing I gotta save is my D&D paper. Then I'll be okay. Okay, so I'm doing loose inks, right? Really loose lines, which is kind of once again what I did for my. Let me fix that here. What I did in Inktober. Inktober, I was just going loose, having fun. So the question is, let's lean away from the way I normally do colors in computer, in computers, on the computer. But let's instead see if I could basically emulate how I do marker work. I'm stuttering. Let's see if I can emulate how I do my marker work here in the computer. So we have markers. No, that's not gonna do it at all. So I'm right now checking out all the different types of markers. Haven't used them before. Marker. No. Marker. Flat marker? No, not flat marker. I hate that. Nope. Wait, something's going on. Something is messing up. Let me check out my pen. Okay, so the pen is doing... I'm able to get pressure with the pen. Can't seem to get pressure with the markers, though. We have marker pen, fill-in Omo pen, felt pen. Let me zoom in and see what the felt pen looks like. Don't know why, but the markers aren't letting me like use my pressure. Pressure. Very weird. You know what? Let's not be so literal. We got pencils and pastels. Pushing down on me. Oh shoot. Nah. Oh shoot. I just realized there's some white in my what is that? That is color pencil. Color pencil I like more than anything else. There is white on my I'm trying to think of the words. There is a color that should not be here. There we go. On my ink layer. Need to get rid of that. Forgot I did that. Magic wand. We're going to delete you. Thank you very much. We're going to delete. Oop, let's delete you first. We're going to delete you. Delete you. I delete you, and you get deleted, and you get deleted, and everyone gets deleted. It's still not good enough. You get that stupid outline anyway. Look under your chairs. What is it? It's a deletion. It's like so many people won't get that reference. They'll get the meme, but they won't get the actual reference of it. It's from Oprah. You know what? Just bye bye. Erase. Rush. this is one of the reasons why I need to get into the habit of doing my inks on like even just a light blue background. That way I could catch all the little mistakes I make like this. When you're coloring, many people will drop just a bucket in the background of some color while they're doing skin tones or whatever. That way they can really see the differences that pop up. There we go. Speaking of which, let's leave that there. Let's leave that red for now. Go to the color. We are going to be using color pencil. Not a pastel fleck. Now, color pencil. Literally, it just says color pencil. And I'm going to see how that looks. Oop, that's too broad. That's way too broad. You know what? Screw it. No, we're gonna get rid of that red. It is bothering me. Oh my god, it is bothering me. Yes, delete. So I'm doing what I normally do with the markers, but I'm going from light to dark. Of course, with this, I have the added option of also going back and just using, you know, light whites if I wanted to. A little harsh. Trying to get need to get more mid-tones. I like the color pencil. I might use this a lot more often than the marker tool. The marker tool in this is just too harsh. Look how wide it is. Yeah, I have to like really estimate how big these brushes are when it comes to the color pencil. Like literally 10 is like the largest I should go with when it comes to trying to stay in the damn lines. Then again, because it spreads so wide, it might help me give like the ethereal feel. You know, when you go out the lines. I'm always trying to figure out how people do that in some paintings, like just when they capture that beautiful like glow. Look at like the stuff that Alex Ross does, like how he has like these neon, like colors shimmering, and it's like, how'd you do that? What is your secret? Just got an update on my secondary device. That was loud in my ear. And we're getting there. Definitely some mid-tones right here, please. Nope, that was not the right color. Let's try that. There we go. Bring it down to like, keep going past 10. Just need to keep it. I'm liking it so far, liking it. Okay, let's get our base. It's all about that base. 15. There we go, 15. In this case, I don't mind. I hate going over the lines because then there's so much cleanup afterwards. But if we're gonna go for a bit of ethereal, I say let the lines bleed, and then I'll do a smoky kind of cleanup. Really have that glow. When you got the glow, have you guys ever seen? If any of you, please, if any of you ever seen freaking The Last Dragon, when you got that glow. One of Mama Burgos' favorite movies. Now the cracks, I'm gonna save the highlights on the cracks for last. That'll be like what really needs to stand out heavily. Right, so whether or not I practice it as much as I should, for those of you wondering, one of the basics. There's a ton of things you can learn in light and color, but light wraps. So you know you have the shading here with an edge on the side of le boob. That is the lighter point. Sometimes I exaggerate that edge too much, but nothing just goes solid to solid black shadow. There's always a bit of a bounce, which allows you to do a really dark armpit, for example, and then a very light edge on the rib cage, even though they're right next to each other. So it helps you identify the shapes because it's always wrapping. Even shadows have shading. So I guess the best way to describe the lighting is that the lighting is somewhat centered on her, which is why there's a lot of shading like on all the other edges. Like she's kind of glowing from the center, if that makes sense. At least that's kind of how I'm viewing it. And I'd like to remind everyone at home, this is my first time doing any coloring, really, in this program. So it's all practice for me. Please don't be extremely judgmental. Be judgmental, but not extremely judgmental. Dark, a little lighter, a little lighter. There we go. A little darker, really get that black shadow in there. Not bad so far. No, I had to make sure had to double check that my screen wasn't on, what is it? It's called like iSaver mode. But then it tints everything weird color. Let's work our way down her right arm. Had to think about it for a minute. Don't judge me. So I know for a fact there's a lot of areas where it's color pencil, so there's a lot of white that's like peeking through. We'll adjust that once I drop a background in there, and I can see the color, you know, more clearly. Also switching my thank you. Also switching my eraser to a soft eraser. That way when I erase, it doesn't really lose the texture of the color pencil. Rather than just make a swift cut line, which is what I usually do when it comes to my pen work. There's also the fact that in the color pencil mode here, the pressure isn't just affecting the thickness of the brush, but also how dark I'm making a lot of this coloring, which is good. It's a freaking good tool, man. Thank you, Stuck Up Cat. Thank you for joining us and thank you for the compliment. Did I read that right? Is it Stuck Up Cat? It is Stuck Up Cat. Thank you for leaving a comment in general. My pleasure. It is 9:06. I don't know if I'm gonna finish this entire coloring tonight because I usually try to cut out around 10 o'clock. If that's the case, I'll come back to it next week as well. I'm definitely enjoying this particular piece. So out of morbid curiosity, let's drop. Let me drop a. Let me first lock that. Let me drop a solid color in the background to see what's bleeding in and what isn't bleeding in. Let's go for red. So there's a lot of bleed through where the color pencil isn't like solid. It's you know, it's kind of translucent, which kind of works for the character. If I decided to do a background, that would make sense for her. Either that, or I would just go back in on a background layer and just give it a solid blue background layer. In fact, let's see how that looks. So if it's solid blue, it's what is that? What is that right there? I don't know what that is. Yeah, it's on that layer. But yeah, just to kind of show how the color pencil, it works like an actual color pencil. Unless you're leaning hard into it, you will get some bleed through. Oof. I used to do that when I was in high school. When I first started using Prismacolor pencils, I would just lean hard on them, and I was like, I just want to get a solid color. And it's like, no, you're supposed to blend it, Dante. I learned that, you know, you learn that as you practice more. That's a pen tool. My nub is slowly wearing away. Luckily, I have extras. Thank goodness. Yes, actually, these nubs have like lasted me a very long time. They give you a pack of like freaking 8, and you're like, oh my god, is this gonna fall apart on me? I'm just right now taking this kind of mid-tone blue. I'm trying to stick with the way I do my markers. I do light to dark. When I'm doing work on the computer, I tend to just go ahead and just do dark. I'm like, no. Light to dark like you normally would. Like, stick with the technique that works for you. Translate it into... I'm trying to translate my technique into the computer. Still got an ink line or two to clean up. Right there. Lock it back on the color layer. Dropping some more highlights. Just to add that, add some more contrast between all the lights and darks. Okay, why not? While we're here, let's put some highlights mainly on all the cracks. Like I said, we'll do some fine detailing highlights between light and dark on the cracks eventually. I think for the stomach area, we'll just automatically start with a darker tone as a base. But first, let's get everything else out the way. Ooh, nope. That was too dark. let's color in these big broken areas of the legs. And nice thin brush. Let's take a 3 and make it a 4. Make it a 4 and highlight the inner edging. So, you know, even though, I don't know, I guess all the, when it's broken, all the little cracks, the insides are more white. So we'll just make it more white like that. We'll do the same for all of this here. Then we're gonna start with at a deeper tone for the guts. I say it just like that, like the old Nickelodeon game, guts. And then we'll do the same shading technique, just at the lightest to the darkest. But in this case, the light is a darker tone to begin with. So we'll start at like there. That's some good. Let me see. Here, we'll start here. In this case, I am going to switch over temporarily to dark pencil. Would that work? Yeah, let me get a dark pencil just because I want these edges to be sharp. Actually, if those are the edges, I'll go even darker. So like right by the wall that is her stomach, you have a darker shade. Then I'll start, you know, lightly color penciling from the dark to lighter. So I'm working in reverse now. The dark is the edge, the light is the tummy in the center. So once again, this lovely ghoul is brought to you by a concept, a brainchild between myself and Creatorius Rex on Instagram. Like the word create and Cretaceous. Creatorius Rex, also known as J Marvel Man here on Twitch, in which we are kind of making a Victorian style Ghostbuster. I mentioned this in the last video, but essentially, Creatorius Rex looked at a recent sculpture I'm working on. A sculpture that I hope to replicate and sell. Really small. A little devil in a jar. And he was like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if it was like demons in a jar? And then it just began to snowball. And we basically came up with this idea for like a pilot. About a young man during the Victorian era in England. The edge of the new technological revolution where electricity is coming into play, and he essentially becomes a kind of Ghostbuster character. And I'm just doing a whole bunch of specters to kind of go with that idea. Okay, so let's use the color pencil to blend in those harsh edges. There we go. And then a little lighter. A little lighter. There we go, that's better. I'm kind of cheating here. I'm not even following the contours of the actual intestine. I'm not even shading the intestine. I'm shading it as one object. Just right from the center, getting darker towards the edges. And then I'll use a little bit of highlight white for certain areas. Actually, no. Let's stick with the light color. Let's not get any white in here just yet. Just make that a 4. There we go. And now I'm just dropping some shadows back in between the guts. Sorry for that. I don't know why people are shooting fireworks. It's not the 4th yet. Just hang out a little. Just hang a little longer, man. Just wait out a little bit longer, please. Oh, I like that. Ooh. Now for the hair. Just continue blue flame, I guess. Maybe more of a, it's a cool blue. Maybe more of a warm blue, like that. Would it just stand out too much? Yeah, I don't know if that works well. Maybe I should just stick with. Last of it. Bring me another. I forgot to put some more white highlights around like the cracked rib area. There we go. There we go. Once again, it's not like super clean or super tight. Like once you put this in, you can see all the bleed through. That green, that weird yellow kind of works. As a bleed through, it kind of works. Granted, it makes it look a bit more sickly, but it does kind of work. Like if I was to do something like this, actually soft, just want to see how that, I want to see how it looks just with the yellow in the body, not so much around it. Things to think about, people. But for now, we're going to lock that, go back to the main colors. Maybe I should do, you know what, I think I might do it dark, but I'll stick with the same color in the stomach. Right. Once again, nope. Color pencil, darker pencil. We're gonna just to get the edge. Just take the edge off. We're at the half-hour mark, and I'll take a hint from my YouTube email, which told me call, is it Call of Duty? No, it's not call for attention. Whatever. Call to my people. Hey guys, don't forget to subscribe. Yeah. YouTube was like, remind them to subscribe. So all the people who like tell you to subscribe before they even start the video, kind of annoying. At least give us like 15 minutes of content and then we'll decide. So I'm telling you now that we're an hour and a half in. Please subscribe. Well, follow. Here on Twitch, follow. Subscribing costs money. I want you guys to follow me. On YouTube, subscribe. Actually, should this maybe how much of this should be like really harsh and sharp, because it's fire, it's not ghostly like the rest of her. I'm not too familiar with like trying to paint fire. I'm also on the fence about whether or not I want to keep even the, like for the hair, for her hair, maybe I should just drop the pen tool lines. Just drop all the ink lines and just keep it as the color shape, if it comes out good. If I like it a lot, otherwise I'll just keep the freaking, I'll keep the lines for now. Obligatory "this girl's on fire" joke. This goes on fire. I don't know if anyone out there remembers the Boondocks, a short-lived stop-motion series on Fox, in which Eddie Murphy did the voices for like half the characters. There is a funny episode where an adult movie theater opens up in the neighborhood. I said not the Boondocks. It's the PJs, not the Boondocks. The PJs. There you go. So the PJs, standing short for the Projects, has an adult movie theater open up in the show, and the main character is like, listen, it's gonna bring down the neighborhood. It's gonna bring down the neighborhood in even worse than it is right now. We gotta get rid of it, but everyone goes to it. Like, everyone goes to it, and I guess at some point he realizes that maybe it's okay to have it because Strange Enough is bringing money into the neighborhood. And it's also getting the riffraff out of the street and inside of a building, so they don't have to deal with them anymore. But the reason I mention it is because at first he decides to burn it down. The main character, he's like, I'm gonna burn down this blight on our beloved Projects, and then he decides not to, but it catches on fire anyway. And he runs inside, like, in the middle of whatever movie they're watching. And then it's funny because in the theater, like, every character's there. Man and women are both there watching whatever movie is on. And he runs on stage screaming that the roof is on fire. But, of course, he says it and, the roof. And, like, everyone in the theater starts singing with him, let the mother burn. And he's like, no, you fools, the roof is on fire. And it's this really funny segment of just him trying to convince everyone to get the hell out. And I think eventually it does all burn down anyway. And I forget the punchline, that maybe the insurance covers it, so they're fine. Whatever the punchline was. But just the scene of him, like, screaming it and everyone singing with him in this, like, adult movie theater. It was a funny series. Depicting somewhat exaggerated form. I say somewhat exaggerated. I didn't grow up in any kind of projects, so I can't say. But lots of caricatures. It was a funny show. But Fox, it'll cancel anything that does good. Unless it's The Simpsons, they'll wait till that sucker burns. The Simpsons will freaking end when the sun explodes. I have a tool here that says real pencil. How's that look? I don't know. Looks weird. Maybe. Charcoal pencil. It does overlap itself nicely. I like charcoal pencil. Let's see how that works. Ooh, that's a big eraser. So we're gonna go light on the edges, dark in the center. Like it's stronger at the center. You are rattling way too much, man. It's actual pieces of like plastic peeling off of this guy. So we're kind of experimenting with the hair right now. I'm doing the center dark to then go lighter to the outside. And then maybe afterwards I'll put some highlights on the edges. Back up a bit. It might work. Just gotta do some heavier contrast. Also, while I'm at it, click that white. Make those eyes white. Or the pupil actually. There, the pupil's white. It's reversed. Bit darker. Just a little bit louder now. Just a little bit louder now. I like the charcoal. No, I'm still in color pencil. Where's it? I'm to the charcoal with it. No, I'm still using color pencil. I guess I just misread it. Okay. If it works, it works. Bleeds, we can kill it. If it's a ghost, it will bleed ecto-cooler. By the way, what's going on? There's a bunch of commercials popping up that look like they're meant to be tie-ins for the Ghostbuster movie, but because the Ghostbuster movie took too long to come out, they're not saying it's part of Ghostbuster. There was like, I think Ben & Jerry's or whatever has like slime that you put on your ice cream. It's meant to be like lemon flavor or whatever. And then there was like another commercial where this kid shooting what is obviously meant to be like an ecto beam. It's that orange and yellow wiggly line while she's like eating Pop-Tarts, I think. Like, what is going on with these commercials that are obviously meant to be like Ghostbuster tie-ins, but no one's freaking it like saying they are in the commercials? feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Okay, now we'll do little bits of the lightest blue just on the edges to kind of highlight that flame. But Dante, that's not how flames work. It's ectofire. You got a problem with it? Go talk to Egon Spangler. Well, you can't. He's dead. Was that in bad taste? I think it might have been bad taste. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely clean that up though. So like the body, I'm okay with a little bit of bleed out, but I need to clean this up. Eraser, let's go for sharp. Ooh, that's too big. There we go. Yeah, I want the fire to be crisp. Because if I do decide to remove the inks on the fire, just as a nice contrast to the rest of the body, it might look nice. Watch, let me see. A bit rough. Might need to blend that out anyway. Might need to fix those edges if I do take away the ink. Speaking of which, what is this nonsense? Get out of it, get out of it, get out of it. Freaking nasty edges. Yeah, the fire, maybe I should go back to it the way I did with the fingers and really clean up the ink lines on this. I was really loose with the fire because I didn't know what I was doing. But now that I have a sense of its general shape and its color, I think I should go back and like smooth out a few of those edges. And also, I think if I continue doing more ghost drawings, I gotta give the next guy legs. I'm thinking the next guy is gonna be like a gluttony kind of guy, just big old belly, laughing and jiggling with little stubby legs. So yeah, I gotta give the guy legs, man. It's 9:50. We are in the home stretch for tonight. As I said, maybe I'll come back to this again next week. Not sure. Maybe I have some ghostly burnout. I don't know. I got a number of projects I'm working on the side. So I hold out to finish this drawing. I wanted to. I was like, I want to draw it. I want to get back into it. I was like, no. Save it for the live stream. And do a number of other drawings. See, save it for the live stream and finish up a few other drawings or ideas. So I went ahead and did a few sketches. I did some video editing. Rather, I got some video work done. And I need to finish the editing for it. And that's part of Clones versus Drones. I talked about that last week. In which I did some prop work for that. Made some laser guns for a friend's short film. And that was fun, doing some prop work. So I have side projects. Some of which are commissions, some of which are just literally side projects for myself. And I have that to keep me occupied while building up energy for Sunday night streaming. Yeah, the hair definitely needs to get a little bit of a cleanup in the line work. See how it's, it's fire, it's wavy, I get it, but I need to actually do some cleanup. She has very cute little cowlicks on the back. And let me see. Scoot you over, that way you're completely in the shot. A bit more. There we go. Woo! It is perfect. 9:54. 2 hours in. Did some ink cleanup and got the majority of the coloring done. The majority is it's not perfect. I'm sure I could really get in there and tweak it a bit more. Obviously, there's a lot of bleed out all over. But the general idea is done. And that's really what it really was. I wanted to get this general idea done. If anything, let me see. If anything, I might want to edit right now before we sign out. Let me see. Nope, that's eraser. Just doing a very light highlight of blue on the rim of her eye. That way you can see it better, hopefully. There we go. So yeah, file save. Save, people, save, for God's sake. But yeah, I like this. I'm really happy with it. I just wanted to get this concept on paper. I want to get it out there. I really like how the stomach is looking. How it's its shading is completely different than the rest of the body. It's kind of like it's floating in its own void, which I think is really cool. And yeah, I might return to this next week. I'm not too sure. Maybe I'll step away, give it a break, give the ghost a break in general. I don't know yet. I gotta think about what I'm gonna be doing next week. But I think that'll be it for tonight. So I want to once again thank Stuck Up Cat for their kind words. Hey, go check them out, guys. I have no idea what their channel looks like. Go check them out. But yeah, I had fun with this. It was nice just doing some character design that, at the moment, I had, Joe and myself have a place to put them, but it's not a so solid place, so I can just kind of go wild with the concept designs. I don't have to like squeeze it into any pre-existing story I have in mind. It just, boom, goes there for now. Might be used, might not be used. I don't know. But yeah, so before that being said, once again, I am Dante. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the future. Later.